Hello, happy Friday. I hope you're well. Danielle Stimpson here from Learn Reiki Philadelphia. Thank you for being here for Community Distance Reiki. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching on the replay, please know that you're going to have just as healing a time as if you were here live. But if you would like to join me live, I'm here 5 times a week. All the upcoming days and times are in the description below, as are all of the social media contacts for myself, the link to the free community Discord, and information about online Reiki classes with me. I'm so glad all of you are here. If you're here live, go ahead, and if you have any healing requests that you feel to share, go ahead and pop them in the live chat, and I will pick some custom crystals for our crystal grid for us to enjoy and bask in while I send some Reiki. Generally, for the first half an hour or so, we chat, I pick out some crystals, I walk you through which crystals help with what. You can also request a crystal by name if I happen to have it. I'm more than happy to fold it into the grid as well. And then at about the half-hour mark, I explain what Reiki is, what you can expect today, and then I just go ahead, turn up the music, and send Reiki to you to be peaceful and blissed out wherever you happen to be and whenever you happen to be. So yeah, so good to have you all here, new folks and returning folks alike. I'm just going to take a peek into the chat and see what requests we have. And okay, cool. Mind, body, soul. Absolutely. We've definitely got some wonderful options for that. Iolite, lapis, aventurine, and something for solar plexus and digestion. You got it. So let's get started. And there's plenty of room for more, so if you have any requests, go ahead and pop them in there. Let's see what we have for today. So we have requests for iolite, lapis, aventurine. I only have green aventurines. I hope that's okay. And mind, body, soul. Oh, definitely. We have so many choices for that. So let me go ahead and start going through the support a reunion with a cherished friend. Hello, welcome back. Good to see you. Just looking for my iolite. Isn't it always on the bottom of the stack? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over the camera so you can go ahead and see the crystals as I select them. Hi, welcome in, Karen. Letting go of attachments to outcomes. Something to support hormonal balance, physical and emotional well-being, freedom. Absolutely. Let's just turn up the lights here. All right, so here is Iolite. Light's a little bit off today. Let me adjust that for us, just so you can see the crystals a little more clearly. There we go. So here we go. This is Iolite. There we go. Iolite is wonderful for the third eye, intuition, and grounding the intuition that comes in. It also helps with separating the intuitive guidance from what we just sort of want it to be, but actually seeing it for what it is. Iolite can be wonderful for that. And let's see, lapis next. Helping people let go of their attachments to who you should be able to absolutely can help with that. And we've got for, let's see, lapis. Lapis and iolite go so well together. Lapis also works with the third eye. It helps to bring through intuition and also grounding with it. It also helps to synthesize intuitive guidance more in terms of wisdom. And it really does help us to open up to that wise attitude and also to convey it. As this deep blue, it has a lot to do with the throat chakra. So it helps us to convey wisdom as well. And in fact, we see this stone in a lot of temples, like ancient temples that were built, even if not ancient, hundreds of years ago. We can go in and see lots of lapis. Lapis and not calcite. Citrine. There goes my mind today. Okay. Let's see. Definitely the aventurine. Aventurine is excellent for so many things. It helps us to bolster our opinion of ourselves, like seeing that we can be more than we think we are. It's excellent for heart-based courage and balancing solar plexus with the heart. So the heart is everything we would think the heart to be. It's love, unconditional love, caring, and compassion, and balancing that with our sense of self, who we are, and our personal identity. So it can be really wonderful for sort of expanding who we are, what we think we can be, and those sort of self-limiting beliefs can be melted away. Such a great stone. I use this a lot in my healing work. Sunstone. I was just thinking sunstone. Absolutely. I was just going to add that next. You read my mind. You read my mind. Okay. I absolutely work with sunstone along with green aventurine often. I feel like green aventurine helps us to expand that vision of who we can be, but sunstone like brings it up to 11, so to speak. It helps us completely push aside the idea of like limiting self-doubt and like limiting boundaries. Like, I can't quite do that. That's out of my realm. It helps us really push past those. And it's also one that can help with the sort of like the sacral chakra a little bit. And so when we're saying things like, boundaries and things, it can help with that. It can help us to better establish and support our own boundaries for ourselves. So I only have some larger pieces of sunstone. Here we go. Such a pretty stone. It's like a peachy orange. And you can just see how it works so well with the green of the aventurine. Like, they complement each other well visually and in terms of the energy. Solar plexus, digestion, absolutely. And boundaries for ourselves and the boundaries others have. There's a couple stones I'm going to use for those. Let's go ahead and grab some honey calcite. Honey calcite helps to warm our solar plexus, which is our energy center of relationships. In greater terms, how we relate to others. Where do I end and you begin? Our solar plexus and sacral types of things. And this stone helps bridge those two things. It's excellent for boundaries and for really loving ourselves and supporting our boundaries out of self-love and compassion. So very much the color of honey. I tend to make my grids very intuitively. Sort of put things where they feel they want to go. Okay. Hormonal balance for sure, emotional well-being. Also, honey calcite does help with digestion to some extent, but I feel like I'm always incorporating a new take and perspective on crystals, so I tend to grab a book here and there and see what another author would suggest as far as a stone for something. And I think digestion is going to be the one today that we peek through a book for. So let's see. Body, mind, and spirit and balance of all of those is definitely going to be rutilated quartz, which is a favorite here. We work with rutilated all the time. There's so many multi-purpose uses for rutilated quartz. And here it can look a lot of different ways. It's clear quartz, and if you can see, I know you can in some rather than others because they're so shiny. There's rutils, or these lines running through them. And as we might be able to see, this might be a better example. There we go. Those rutils are thought to help direct the energy exactly where it needs to go in the body, and it's wonderful for balancing mental, emotional, physical healing all at once. It's also excellent for giving us energy, energizing us, especially if we're getting better from being ill or if we're trying to prevent being ill. So especially during COVID time has been a real godsend here. We've been using that crystal a lot. So that's rutilated quartz. Okay. Absolutely energy. Definitely rutilated quartz would be good for energizing. Also, I may have another touch of perfection there in just a few moments as well. Letting go of attachments, as well as like finding good boundaries and grounding us, helping support those positive boundaries, and also allowing our energy to flow, feeling safe enough to convey those boundaries, safe enough to hold them, and safe enough to think about what's in our greater good overall, is definitely red tiger eye. So I'm just going to grab some of that. So red tiger eye looks very much like the golden tiger eye, but it's sort of this iron-like red. So here. It's excellent for any kind of energetic protection. Any kind of energetic protection, even up to and including when we're concerned about negative energy. It can be wonderful for anyone who's very empathic. If you tend to absorb other people's energy, this can be a wonderful stone to work with. It's also excellent if you need to manifest finances, like financial support, fairly quickly, especially. So if you're having a financial need, it's a great stone for that as well. But really stabilizing energy. For energizing in general too, let's see. Let's see too. All right. Any other requests that I may have skipped or forgotten? I'm just peeking back here. letting go of attachments to letting go of attachments. Another great one for that is Tourmalinated Quartz. This has black tourmaline running through it, so it's deeply clearing. It looks sort of like the rutilated quartz, except they're not rutils. It's actually black tourmaline in quartz. The types of tourmaline that can run through quartz can be any color. Tourmaline comes in many, many colors, though I find that in general, the black tourmalinated quartz tends to be often a bit more powerful. Not always, but often. It's also deeply clearing. Black tourmaline helps to keep negative energy at bay. So this can help us to kind of search ourselves and let go of those attachments, ideas, and things that we've been holding on to that aren't in our highest good. So it works well with sunstone. It works well with rutilated quartz. It works well with honey calcite. Energy freedom. Absolutely. Freedom, like emotional freedom, I think is what you're saying. If I'm wrong, let me know. I would say definitely the honey calcite helps with that also. Rhodonite. This goes well for letting go emotionally and also healing emotional wounds, up to and including grief. It's also great for, actually, let's put this back here. Emotional freedom, for sure. Whenever we feel emotionally stuck, it can be really supportive of that. Fantastic. So I think that getting pretty good. All right. Anyone else? Oh, digestion. We were going to look up digestion. Well, let's do that. Physical freedom. Oh, physical freedom. I would say physical freedom, tourmalinated quartz, and the red tiger eye for sure. Physical freedom. Absolutely. Black tourmaline can really help us shake off those connections that are not of our highest good and move forward physically, as can red tiger eye for sure. And I'm gonna look up digestion and see what Cassandra Eason would suggest. So this is a book we've been working with to take in another perspective. And let's see what she uses for digestion. She uses sodalite, sapphire. Sapphire can be pretty ungrounding. Let's see. Uses gold tiger eye and chrysoprase. That makes sense. And obsidian. Let's do some obsidian. Obsidian can also, she uses that for digestion, and I wouldn't have thought to use that particular stone, but that's interesting. And also it goes along with so many of the other requests that we had today. Obsidian is great for letting go emotionally, especially things that no longer serve, things like grief. It's excellent for those. And as far as freedom, if we need to free ourselves in a physical sense as we move on, leaving things behind, black obsidian can be really helpful. It's excellent for transitions too. So like physically transitioning into a new state like freedom. This is often used for folks who are healing from things like incarceration or anything like that, like where they've been physically held. Obsidian is actually volcanic glass, and it's nothing short of magical in so many physical ways. It's volcanic glass, so basically, if you think of it, a volcano happens and it's quick, volatile change. And so things have to turn into something else very quickly. And so obsidian basically is things like sand and things like that hit with that lava stone, it turns into glass. And this glass is actually can be made so sharp that it wasn't until the 1980s where we could actually create steel that was sharper than obsidian. And so obsidian scalpels were used in eye surgeries, and in some cases actually still is today. So it is nothing short of a miracle. It really does help cut through things. But yeah, Cassandra Eason says it helps with stomach and digestion, and that does kind of make sense to me. I mean, it is very grounding and calming through those times. Another one she suggested is tiger eye, like golden tiger eye. So I'm going to grab some of that. I do use that for stomach upset and digestion issues too. And then I'm going to pick 2 stones for you to decide on. Let's see. Where can we fit these guys? Oh, I see where. And that's golden tiger eye. So we have golden tiger eye and black obsidian to help with tummy troubles, indigestion, and all of that. And for energy, we wanted another one for energy. So I'm going to grab one more. Just bear with me turning my back to you. This here, we've worked with this actually just yesterday, and it's one of the concepts that comes through in community distance Reiki is that of communal chi. The more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater that energy potential is magnified to everyone. But also we find that we are often going through the same and similar situations without even realizing it. And so we'll see these themes and these stones that keep coming back for a few days or a few weeks or even a few months, and then kind of we don't see them for a while. This is Bumblebee Jasper, and I've been using this quite a bit lately. Bumblebee Jasper is excellent at giving us lots of energy to like run forward with our soul's purpose, but just kind of fills us with joy so we can run forward. It supports a lot of the solar plexus. Who am I? I'm proud of me. I'm excited to be on my soul's path. But it's also just excellent for like giving us this boost. This is definitely a stone that we don't use in water to drink. Now, we never have to use it that way. I don't do direct crystal infusions ever, but this one specifically has arsenic in it. So yeah, not when we leave around where animals or kids could swallow it, not one that we let little ones handle it, but to handle it as me, it's pretty much fine. I would just wash my hands later. So that is Bumblebee Jasper. So now is the point where I pick a couple of stones for you to choose from that you'd want to sort of shine down over the grid as we do the crystal healing. And while you guys vote on it in the chat, I quickly explain what Reiki is to those of you who may be new. So I'm thinking here, I have two ideas. One is howlite. Howlite is excellent for frustration, anger, resentment, and those difficult types of emotions to help calm them. That can be really helpful when we're dealing with anything related to boundaries. And also nuummite. Nuummite is super old. It's like 3 or 4 billion years old. It's super black, super dark, and works really well to help us see our deeper recesses and our shadow side, at the same time getting glints of inspiration. And I'm going to show you one of each. So this is nuummite. As you can see, that deep, deep black, and then out of it comes this shining gold, this beautiful like inspiration, aha moments. And howlite is one that we use quite a bit here too. It looks like turquoise if it were white, and white turquoise is absolutely a stone, but at the same time, it's not the same stone. They just happen to look very similar. Bear with me here. Here you go. And like I said, this is excellent for everything related to anger, resentment, and frustration. So it can be good for ironing out boundaries and things too, to see how we really feel inside. Both of them are great for that. So go ahead, those of you who are here in the chat, take a moment to like the stream, because that really helps folks learn about me. And go ahead and vote on whether you would like nuummite or howlite. And then I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is and how this will flow. And thank you all so much for being here. So again, I'm Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. And here we go. I've been teaching Reiki for about 13 years. The style of Reiki that I'm most familiar with is that of Usui Reiki. Mikao Usui was a Buddhist monk in the 1920s in Japan, where to this day, lots of folks work with energy healing, often referred to as Tenohira or Teate. It's palm-based energy healing that pretty much everyone has access to, everyone works with, they learn it as children. It's just sort of a cultural practice, because in Japan it's understood that energy is all around. It's part of their Shinto, their original Shinto beliefs. And here in the West, many of us had different family lineages that may go back to sort of an elemental energy, some may not. Here in the modern era in the West, the concept of energy is just that. It's a concept. It's not necessarily agreed upon by broad range groups of people. The concept of chi or ki is energy, or the essences that are beyond our ability to physically see or auditorily hear. Specifically, you have your energy, I have mine, there's many energies around, but many energies are shared by everything and everyone. One of those being spiritually guided life force energy, which is Reiki. Working with this energy, it's available to everyone, it's in abundance, it's flowing through you right now, whether you acknowledge it or not, much like we're mostly made of water, and we don't really think of it that way, but we are. Reiki energy, as it connects all things, it's a spiritually guided energy. You can insert your dogma here, it's non-religious. The concept is that this building block energy supports our body, mind, and spirit to come back into a greater sense of harmony and balance. It's almost much like water, where water always finds the lowest point, Reiki flows into where we need it most. We can set intentions around mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual healing. We can also just simply be and see how Reiki shows up to us. Sometimes it's a physical feelings in your body. Sometimes it's what it brings up in terms of your thoughts, your feelings, or even intuitive guidance, sometimes all of the above. Every session is different. Even if you watch this on the replay and experience this energy again, it'll feel different. And that's because you're at a different place. Your energy is different moment to moment. So it'll support you regardless of where you happen to be in that moment, to find the greatest, highest good. During this session, all you need to do is get comfortable. Move around all you need, roll over, close your eyes. If you feel like you're going to fall asleep, awesome, go take a nap. If you're getting lots of pictures and thoughts and ideas, maybe it's intuitive guidance. Maybe it's the place you finally need to be to go ahead and have those fruitful thoughts. Maybe it's just a racing mind. If you're not sure, take a deep breath, but ultimately, you don't have to keep a quiet mind, and you don't need to focus on anything, though you can if you'd like. You can simply relax and be, or you can combine this time with some stretches, some yoga, some painting, some journaling, whatever feels right to you. This is your time. At the end of the half hour, you'll hear my voice come back in, and I'll invite you to take a deep breath in and out, coming back to your body, wiggle your fingers and toes, and then ask any questions that you have. I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions. If you're here live, you can share them in the chat then. If you're watching this on the replay, you can use the comments or you can use my social media. The connections are down below, as well as my online community, Distance Reiki. At the end of this stream, I'll go ahead and type the names of all of these beautiful crystals that we worked together to build into a grid, so that if you're looking to source them locally, you certainly can. It'll be a lot easier if you can spell them. And I do have a link to my crystal shop in the description below as well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started, because Reiki energy connects through all of us and everything, and space and time. It doesn't matter where you are in relation to me, in terms of where in the world or when. All you need to do is just set the intention to be open to receiving this healing, and you will. So let's go ahead and see what the results of that vote are. So often happens, it's a pretty good amount of both. It's pretty much split down the middle, so let's use both. A little bit of howlite, a little bit of nuummite. Let's get one more piece. And let's go back to the grid. There we go. Fantastic. So everybody go ahead, get nice and comfortable. Thank you so much for making this communal chi so palpable, for putting all of our intentions together in a physical representation here in this grid. This empowers all of our intentions. And if you do want to watch this healing again, if you look through our library of past streams, every thumbnail has a picture of the grid that we've created together. Thank you for allowing me to be of service today. It's an honor and a privilege. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the music for your enjoyment and switch up the lights. I'll see you all in about a half an hour. Enjoy your sessions, and I'll talk to you soon. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly come back to your body. Gently move or bend if you need to. And of course, if you're comfortable, just stay right where you are. It's been an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with you today. Thank you so much for being here. And please do come back again soon. My next stream is at 8 p.m. this evening, so depending on where you are in the world, 3 hours from now. If you're here live, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to pop them in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. You can also reach out to me through social media, my free community Discord, or through my website, learnreikiphiladelphia.com. You can find a link in the description. I'll also be back every week, same days, same times, Eastern Daylight Time, which right now, this time of year, is GMT -4. Sundays at 8 p.m., Wednesdays at 4 p.m., Thursdays at 8 a.m., Fridays at 4 and 8 p.m. Oh, thank you so much for the love. I always appreciate all of the wonderful things in chat. I really, really do. It's an honor to share this space. I absolutely love it. I hope you have a good night as well. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon. All the best to you. And as always, if anyone wants to be notified of upcoming streams, you can always subscribe and click for the notification bell, or you can go ahead and join our meetup group or check out our Eventbrite. Whatever works best for you. We've got Bumblebee Jasper, Tiger Eye, Red Tiger Eye, Lapis, Aventurine, Rhodonite, Iolite, Honey Calcite, Rutilated Quartz, Tourmalinated Quartz, Sunstone, Howlite, Nuummite, and Black Obsidian. All of the music that plays during Community Distance Reiki is purchased from another content creator, and you can learn more about her channel in the description as well. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close, though I will be in the chat for several more minutes. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Again, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure, and I hope to see you again soon. Be well and take care of yourselves. Bye for now.